And now for the third part, bit of a conclusion, I guess, I'd like to mention that some of the musicians from these three bands, Primal Scream, the Happy Mondays, and the Stone Roses. I'm afraid I don't know the name of all the band members, and also it would be a bit of a drag if I went through every single one of them like that. So no offense to those that I won't mention in that video, as if they would watch that video. But yeah, so Ian Brown from the Stone Roses, of course, is the one who started it all, you know, the creator. And he also has this, if you watch interviews by him, he has this detachment, like he doesn't give a fuck, like he's cool like that. And I'm sure that's how he was in real life. You know, all these guys, they come across as very genuine when you watch interviews of them, but also in their music, mainly in their music, predominantly in their music, because this is what we have, this is their craft. And at the time, Manchester was a very, again, I'm kind of speaking from experience, because having lived in Manchester for a year, I would ask a lot of questions to people around me, you know, older people, younger people. How was the city in the past? How has it evolved? Now Manchester is really popping at the moment. They're building new skyscrapers every other month, or so it seems. A lot of young people go to Manchester. It's, I think, one of, if not the most densely populated with students city in the UK. That was not English, but you get what I mean. So there are a lot of students. Everyone wants to go there. I mean, for what it's worth, the British Awards, Music Awards, whatever they're called, they took place in Manchester this year for the first time ever. They usually take place in London, but this year they took place in Manchester. And the two main members of the band Happy Mondays were the hosts of the event that night. Josh, the singer, brilliant guy, and Bez, of course. Bez is the maracas player and the dancer, the mascot of the band, the Happy Mondays. I guess I'll talk about him now. Kind of guy, you know, he's like, what was the quote from that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas novel by Hunter S. Thompson, you know, when he describes his attorney and he says, too crazy to live and too rare to die. I guess that would fairly accurately describe Bez. He's from Bolton, Bez, and he's a crazy guy. He always seems like he's fucked up, like on cloud nine, you know, having the best time of his life, always partying, you know. Again, he's pushing 60 now. And when I saw the Happy Mondays a couple of months ago, he was on stage doing all of his dance moves. I tried to mimic him the best I can, right? It's a bit ridiculous if I'm doing it, but he comes across as so genuine and cool. He has like his two maracas and he's shaking them like that. And then he goes like that, you know, and then he goes like that over the crowd with his maracas and he gets everyone going, you know. It's such a vibe. And again, it reflects the open mind that these guys would have. It's like, yeah, sure, you'll just be our dancer, you know. I don't think he was adding much to the creative input of the band per se. Again, I don't know, I wasn't in the studio with them, but I think it was more of a mascot and bringing the vibe and the energy and being the face of the band essentially, and tying it all together, connecting even more the crowd, the audience, and the band, being that link, you know, in the middle. Now I forgot the name of the guitar player from Happy Mondays, but he's a great player, man. He's a great player, and when I saw them live, the guitar really jumped at me. I was like, wow, it sounds exactly dead on like the record. And they recorded that first album, Pills and Thrills and Bellyaches, over 30 years ago, right? I think it came out in 91 or 1990, something like that. And the guitar work during the live performance was dead on. It was exactly like on the record. I was really impressed. Super tight playing. Who else can I mention? Of course, Manny was the bass player for the Stone Roses. And like I said earlier, the bass work on that first Stone Roses record is second to none. some of the best I've ever heard. And he also played for Primal Scream. So I guess that goes to show that all these guys, of course, being part of the same scene, and they had the same message, the same mission in a way, and they would work together. They would be good friends, right? And Andy Weatherall, the DJ from who worked with Primal Scream, again, very, very important. Manny passed away this year. There was a big funeral in Manchester. I didn't go because I don't know. I felt like it would be a bit dull, you know, and like it's parasocial in the most macabre way. You know, I'm not going to the funeral of a musician I admire. Like it just seems wrong to me, right? But Ian Brown was there and Liam Gallagher as well. And I think even David Beckham, because he's from Manchester, isn't he? Attended the funerals of Manny this year. Is a big deal. And I'm forgetting the name of the singer from Primal Scream, but I guess he's the main songwriter of the band. And yeah, all of them were great musicians. I mean, are still great musicians. Some of them are still alive and playing and kicking. So big up to them, because Manchester, from what I understood, is has historically been a very blue-collar city. You know, a lot of working-class heroes are from Manchester and Liverpool. You know, the north of, and Birmingham and all that, the north of England, and also Glasgow, for that matter, is a very industrial city. I went to Glasgow many times. I love that place, and that, I'm gonna be honest, they're kind of shitholes, you know. I mean, Manchester has gotten a lot better, but from what I understood back in the 80s, 90s, there were quite desolate places, you know, affected by the collapse of the economy and a sudden drop in the industry. So there were poor areas, and people coming from working class backgrounds, it was a tough life, right? In Liverpool as well. I mean, the Beatles, that will be another video of its own, talking about the Beatles, but you know, they came from nowhere. They came from Liverpool. It was the shithole of England back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, when they were growing up. And maybe that came into play, giving them this motivation and this drive to produce the best music of all time. And I was never fully aware of that growing up as a kid, you know, listening to those records with my dad in his car. I dug the sound. I loved it. I couldn't really put words onto why. Then I guess I did my research with the music itself. But then, me living in the UK for some years and visiting Liverpool and Glasgow and living in Manchester, I understood that music on another level. I understood a little better where these people come from. I will never fully understand, of course, and I will never fully relate because I wasn't born there. I am not from the same background, but it gave me a new perspective on it. You know, the proper working class heroes, in the purest sense of the word, working class hero. It's no bullshit, you know. It's straight to the point. We're gonna make sick ass music. This is it, right? Very, very fearless, proud of their sound, and they did it. And yeah, they have my eternal respect, because they also created a new sound and they owned it fully, right? And although the Manchester scene was fairly short-lived, right? I mean, I guess you could say it's still going on, with a lot of people still listening to this music in England, especially. But apparently, by the mid '90s, the main message was said and delivered, right? But what did we get out of this? Many more bands, and like, for instance, Blur or Oasis, right? Oasis, they always mention the Beatles as their main influence, but also the Stone Roses, right? Especially Liam Gallagher is very vocal in a lot of his interviews. He always mentions the Roses and the Mondays and the Beatles, and he's like a fanboy of these bands, and it's so evident when you listen to their music and the way he sings and the way he comes across, right? And he's from the Longside area, Liam Gallagher and his brother Noel, which is also a very poor area of the Manchester area. And they looked up to these guys so much because they had made it out of the shithole and they created something beautiful, right? Yeah. So please do yourself a favor, give it a go. If you don't know about Madchester, listen to these phenomenal albums. And if you do know about it, and if you feel like I forgot to mention some things, or if I misunderstood some of the things I said here, please let me know in the comment section. Let's start a conversation. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed making the video. It's probably one of the longest video on my channel. I don't know how long I've been yapping for, but probably a little while. Music is a beautiful thing. Music is life. Where would we be without music? I don't really know. Okay, I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And as always, poetry is everywhere. Peace, love, and music. Oh, fuck. Cool.